You've seen tall players before. Yao Ming, Wemby, even Tacko Fall. There's a teenager right now who makes them all look small. And the craziest part, no one's really sure if he's a basketball legend in the making or a walking what could have been. You think Wemby's tall at 7'4"? Olivier Rioux dwarfs him. At 18 years old, Olivier measures in at 7'9". That's 1 inch taller than George Morrison and Manute Bol, the tallest players in NBA history. And yes, he's still growing. Doctors say that there's nothing abnormal about his body. No gigantism, no underlying condition, just a family full of tall people with a gene pool that must have said, yeah, let's push this one to the limit. His dad is 6'8", his mom is 6'1", and his brother is 6'9". The Rioux family reunions probably look like an Olympic volleyball team cookout. When Olivier was 12 years old and already 7 feet tall, a clip of him playing against other middle schoolers exploded online. He wasn't just blocking shots, he was rejecting their futures. Even Steph Curry commented, so many questions. Imagine being the opposing coach like, hey, coach, there's centers taller than our backboard. But here's where Olivier might break that mold. His height isn't due to any medical anomaly. His frame, surprisingly balanced. His shoulders, his gait. He's not a wobbling skyscraper you expect. Even at 7'9", he doesn't look like a novelty act. He looks like a basketball player. Kinda like if you scaled Kristaps Porzingis to 150%. The wildest part? At 8 years old, he was 6'1". By 12, 7 foot. And now, still growing. He could challenge the world record for tallest living man, currently held by Sultan Kosin at 8'2". This is where it gets real. Being tall is cool, but being coordinated is game-changing. Unfortunately, Olivier's game still has a long way to go. Coming out of high school, he was ranked 305th nationally and rated a 3-star recruit. But that's not exactly lottery pick territory. He has solid fundamentals, great screen setter, reliable rim protector, surprisingly decent free throw shooter. But his weaknesses are glaring. He's slow in transition, he struggles to defend pick and rolls, his offensive game is mostly just stand near a hoop and hope, which in an era of positionless basketball just isn't enough. Back in the day, Olivier would have been the #1 overall pick without even needing to dunk. In the 80s and 90s, the NBA revolved around guys like Kareem, Wilt, Shaq. Now, you better move like a guard or you're out of place. Look at Zach Edey, 7'4", 2-time National Player of the Year, still fell in mock drafts because he doesn't shoot. Tacko Fall, fan favorite, barely cracked an NBA rotation. Boban has guard-like skills, but still struggles to stay consistent. The new blueprint for bigs looks like Giannis, who can run the break and play point forward, or Jokic, who's basically a 7-foot Steve Nash with a rebounding bonus. So yeah, if you're 7'9" and you can't space the floor or move laterally, you're going to struggle to stay on the court, no matter how many TikToks you go viral on. To his credit, Olivier keeps choosing the hardest path. At 16, he turned down easier options and instead joined IMG Academy, one of the most elite basketball schools in the US. After IMG, he walked into the University of Florida, where they just won a national championship, a powerhouse that's produced names like Al Horford, Bradley Beal, and Joakim Noah. He didn't even get a scholarship, he just wanted to compete with the best. That takes guts and shows that he's not here to be a sideshow. Let's be real. Olivier may never be an NBA All-Star, but his name, his look, his story, it sells. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, NIL deals, commercials, acting, endorsements. Just ask Boban Marjanovic, who turned his personality into a 9-year NBA career and starred in John Wick 3, State Farm ads, and even Goldfish commercials. Olivier's ceiling might not be all NBA, but if he plays it smart, he could be the next beloved tall guy with a cult following. Here's the truth. Olivier Rioux has a long way to go. He'll likely play all 4 years in college, he might go undrafted, maybe he gets a summer league invite like Tacko Fall. People will show up just to see him, but he's not just a gimmick. He's working, competing, pushing himself in ways most people his size never have to. That gives him a shot, a real one. Not just to play, but to inspire. Because whether he ends up in the NBA, in Hollywood, or building a media empire off his story, Olivier Rioux is already something the game has never seen.